Before landing, I do some magic grinding and bumped into one of these assholes along the way. And by the way, grinding isn't really a necessary thing to accomplish in this game. Loopers! Fuck these fuckers. These annoying SOBs. I know that just ran away, folks, and it doesn't seem like that big a deal, but oh my god.
That's their thing.
Loopers. They are some of the most annoying monster types.
They'll either run away or do your... Or
they have a high dodge rate. They'll usually run away from a fight, and if they don't run away from a fight, they'll use magic on you. And they're immune to magic.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes.
But if you actually do manage to hit a looper, it'll usually... They're fairly weak, but because they have a high dodge rate, just a fucking nuisance. But again, they can do your party a mischief if you're allowed to let them live and use magic on you. But yeah, generally I don't do magic grinding. But I kind of wanted to learn the first purple spell before we arrived on Shrine Island, just so that I would have an easy time with a certain boss in this dungeon. Because I don't know how to make this any more clear to you. But aside from the Volan battleship we were on earlier, this is going to be officially our very first dungeon in the game. The Shrine Island. How bad can it possibly be? You have no clue. No clue whatsoever.
Worse than you could imagine.
Anyway.
If you've been running from battles at this point, and you actually have to face the boss.
Congratulations, you're a dumbass.
Oh my, I remember my first run trying to face that boss.
Your first run with the game in general, where you were a moron who decided it was more apt to run away from battles than actually fight.
I don't want to get hurt!
Well, that's your problem. And that's why we had to restart the game, because there was absolutely no way you were going to be able to finish the game at that point. Because you ran away from everything, you didn't freaking get enough experience to be strong enough to fight anything. Plus, you hadn't learned any of the super move techniques that were necessary to really hit hard anything. And yeah, we've arrived at Shrine Island, we've come inside and found out, god damn it, the place is full of fucking water. Jesus balls, I cannot swim. That thing is probably way too fucking heavy anyway, so you know what, let's just find some way to drain the water out.
It's like, why would anyone necessarily even need to learn how to swim in this world?
Oh boy. Feltzix.
There's just not many places.
These things... They're not actually... They're kind... Well, let's be clear. They don't seem that annoying on the surface, but their attacks can inflict, sleep status effect.
Come to think of it, where does everyone get their frickin' water?
Blue moonstones.
Oh, right.
Again, the moonstones are the source of fucking everything in this world. But yeah, these things can inflict sleep status, which is why Vice sort of knelt down right there. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Did he really get hurt that badly to the point where I'm going to need to... It didn't seem like he got hurt that badly, and it's just like, I later on learned during the course of battle with other Feltzix, it's just like, that's the sleep status effect. Their attack can induce that at times. And thankfully, sleep status is not one that carries over between battles, so... Moving on.
Nice. You're looking a little tired. You're looking really tired.
What's this? What's this button do?
What did we just do?
We put the gem in the slot. Oh boy. Oh god, the island's sinking. Aika! I'm sorry, Oh. We just took the entire structure down one level. Why would you build that capability into this place? I don't know.
That helped somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, this place is weird. And, you know, I think we've actually powered it up a little. Because there's these weird white flames that pop up here and there. Peculiar. I wonder if there's any significance to that. Probably not. I guess it's just the light system of this place.
It's magic.
Ooh. Great. Now what are we fighting? Sentinels.
Oh.
These are annoying. No, not sentinels. Seekers.
Sentinel Prime.
These are going to be the first silver attribute enemies in the game.
You've been promoted from knight to paladin to sentinel.
Ow! Lasers? What the fuck? Yeah, there's the sleep status effect right there. Fucking Feltzix. Of course, the damn Maraca knocked me right out of it. So, no big problem there. Let's burn the fuckers. Give me strength.
It killed one guy.
Got rid of the Feltzik, but the Seeker is still there, and the Maraca, annoying as it is.
Dinner.
Okay, what should I do now? Alpha Storm!
One of the, as you're about to see now, a lot of the attacks sort of have like a field.
Yeah, Aika's Alpha Storm has a certain field of influence with her Alpha Storm attack. And there are a lot of different attacks and attack types out there that have different fields of range.
Like the Alpha
But
Storm is
Alpha Storm is just like this big cone that goes out in front of Aika. Open the door.
I'll admit, I'm already quite tired. I have not gotten any sleep.
and this is probably one of the more boring parts of the game. And it doesn't help that the music for this part of the game
Isn't all
is
that
very,
Ah, God. Grouders. They're big and tough, and they do a bit of damage. And I think they have some purple magic attacks. I'm not sure. It's been a while. But I'm gonna be stupid and actually try and use purple magic on them. And I also decided to use Counterstrike because I'm a dum-dum. Counterstrike is basically the taking a defense position that will automatically do a counterattack if the enemy actually uses a normal attack against you. But only in the case of it using a normal attack against you. An attack like Eerie Whale doesn't count.
Because it's magic.
Ooh. So I'm starting to feel a bit nervous here, so I'm going to use a crystal and spin my boomerang at him. But yeah, you see that it only hit the Grouter and the Maraca behind it. The Maraca over to the other side didn't get hurt by that.
He's fine.
And it can be especially annoying in such circumstances where, like, you intend to hit a certain number of enemies, but because of the way the turn system works, Aika sort of ends up missing them. It's just like everyone shuffles around and then you're not actually hitting everything in your way. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's better than nothing, I suppose, but... Eh. Of course, something I would learn to carry on is... For magic grinding in this game, there's really no separation so much of different experience types. You always get a set amount of magic for every character. Alright, this was probably a mistake to learn Rain of Swords this early in the game, because our current party doesn't have enough spirit points to actually use Rain of Swords, so it would have probably been a lot more economical to learn Aika's next super move, which will be Lambda Burst. That said, Rain of Swords is still going to be the better overall powerful attack between the two, but at this point in the game, Lambda Burst would just have been a lot more useful at this point.
You idiot.
Well, I wasn't... It's one of the personal pieces of advice I gave to myself while I was starting this game was to focus as much on all of Vice's super attacks as possible, because Vice has the most powerful super attacks in the game. But early on in the game, the most powerful super attacks are going to cost you more than what you're going to get. So, at this point, it would probably have been a lot better to focus on Aika, because all of her super attacks aren't going to be nearly as useful as we go further on into the game.
Speaking of which, you got another Moonberry, and you didn't immediately run to the menu to use it.
Well, the thing is, you need... Past a certain point, you need multiple Moonberries to learn new super moves. You need 2 of them to learn either Lambda Burst or Rain of Swords. And I decided to waste it on Rain of Swords instead of Lambda Burst.
Nice.
That does.
Makes you wonder how people fucking lived on this island. I mean, there's probably a lot more to this island that we don't know about. Like, it all fell off or something, maybe? But why on earth would you want to live on the outside on those very narrow areas? Makes you wonder who used to live here.
Well,
Of course, that's something that I don't think we're ever going to learn, are we?
No.
People know that we're dripping with absolute unending sarcasm by saying that type of thing. Open the door. That's a lot of water. I think that's significantly more water than what have actually been in there, if I'll be honest. But anyway, we finally got to it. Yay, moonstones! That wasn't too bad. And
Yeah,
besides,
but
it'll be an adventure and a half just to get that thing back outside. What's wrong? Those rocks, they're moving.
don't be silly, Aika. Those aren't rocks.
Oh,
wait, those aren't rocks.
Oh. Uh-oh. Boss time! Oh, yeah, and because I started this boss fight in less than adequate health. We're already getting the bad music. And that's something I'm probably going to be anal about as we go through this game, regardless. It's why I re-recorded the Antonio fight. It's because I really... I like the music in this game, but whenever I end a boss battle with that music going, it's just like... It's so gut-wrenching, because I love the boss music as it changes in your favor. Oh god.
Firing laser.
Blaster! Strategy for this, basically... It probably won't do all that... It's not going to do all that much damage if it does a normal attack, so it's okay to just sort of let it go like that. Otherwise, if it does the move target search, immediately go into a defensive stance right afterwards, because that usually means it's going to use Blaster on the next turn. And that is a pretty damaging attack. Otherwise, just stand by, charge up, and use Cutlass Fury on him.
Phenomenal.
Or, if you have enough leftover SP, you can actually use Crystalli, and it does a decent amount of damage to him as well, which is why I wanted to learn some purple magic early on. But apart from that, you should really be focusing on red and green magic early on in the game to learn stuff from them, which is what I was trying to get into earlier, is that when you're learning, you always get 1 MP, 1 magic experience every time you... magic is on a separate experience from your regular experience, and you always get at least 1 from every battle, irregardless of whether or not the enemy runs away or not. And there are different values for each different character for how much magic experience you need to acquire to learn new spells in each different colored magic. So it's always best to have every single character have a different colored weapon at the same time. That way, everyone gets to learn a little bit of each different magic spell. And the best two to go after early on in the game are green and red, because green gives you a lot of different healing magics, and red will eventually give you some ability boosting magic.
I punted it.
Bonk!
Didn't work.
Oh, I'm an exhausted rock.
Oh yeah, and you have the focus moves in order to... Chargin' McKee! And stuff like that.
Not that it matters.
No, good guard.
Well, he did target search. Ah, god damn it!
The music.
And then the music immediately turns around, which means I'm going to spend the next turn wasting myself using a Sacri Crystal on myself.
Oh no.
And one on Ika too, just to be absolutely certain nothing goes wrong. Because I'm very anal about that. I want the music on. I want these battles to end on a high note.
Oh no, they got their fancy music back.
Alright, let's finish this. Cutlass dance! Fury, whatever.
Ow.
You know, I used to think...
I don't feel
before
pain.
I bothered to think about logic, I always considered the fact that Vice had the 2 cutlasses and the way he holds them both rather ridiculous.
That
but
wasn't so bad.
when I think about it, having holding the 1 cutlass with the 1 hand that way is like... It's sort of like a defensive
Well, yeah,
blade.
it's not entirely ridiculous.
Ooh, another
to hold
moonberry.
a thing
But that's how most modern police batons are designed, is so you can swing them around under your wrist. But that's a bit of a weird thing to do with a blade weapon, but still.
Well, I know it. I know that. It's just that I'm thinking there's also the defensive purposes behind it. It's just like you had, instead of a shield, you have a second sword which you use to block attacks with.
Oh yeah, it seems a little strange, but it's not out of the question.
Aika, on the other hand, with having only the one glove on, I'm not so...
That's just her boomerang throwing glove.
I guess. Yeah, we beat the boss and got the raw moonstone. Today is a good day!
An excellent
It couldn't
day.
possibly get bad. Not at all.
Huh? Just gotta stretch.
Real slowly, like. Another nice day. Not too windy. Time to get to work.
Gotta loosen up a little. Hey?
Huh? Ah, fudge. Upside down airship. Ah, God. It was a good day. Why? Why you gotta come along and make my day bad?
It's a fine day. It's a beautiful day outside. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing. On days like these, villages like these should be burning, and you know what? Fuck it, just blow up the village.
Hey, that was my house! Women and children first! Run! I was in the middle of organizing an escape, you assholes! Galcian's flagship.
It doesn't look like it's
Oh
all bad.
boy! Oh boy! We blasted the island with cannon fire and our troops have begun the invasion. Good. They seem very organized for a small village that is under siege. I don't know who their leader is, but he seems very capable. Perhaps Alfonso was in over his head. Perhaps.
Perhaps!
Alfonso is
He
a
doesn't
pushover.
have a head!
He's a pushover. But my goodness, folks, meet Ramirez and Galcian. This game's big bads. Big bad duo.
Big bad 2-0.
The Lord of the Volan Armada and his second hand.
Oh boy.
And they just fucked up our island while we were away getting some fancy moonstone stuff. It was such a good day too, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to figure out what happens next time on Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Legends.